Hey, y'all, Alyece Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Ausome podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of three, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. Morning. So this is not my typical routine, but I wanted to come on here this morning and talk a little bit about the biggest secret to personal branding, because I have had so many people in my inbox lately just wanting to have that conversation about strengthening their brand. So before we jump right into it, because I don't typically do a lot of trainings on my profile, but this morning I just felt compelled to come on here, and I'm all about inspired action. So let me know if you're watching live, drop me a comment, let me know where you're watching from. If you are watching the replay, you can just hashtag replay, drop it in the comments for me, but let me know that you're here and that you're watching, because building a personal brand has been not only a passion of mine, but I would like to say a strength of mine. That's one of the reasons I attribute having the success I've had in a short amount of time, is because then I understand branding and I understand the importance of branding. And I'm going to be doing another branding boot camp. So just let the cat out the bag. I'll be doing another branding boot camp in April in Socially Ausome Entrepreneurs, my social media marketing Facebook community. It's completely free to get in. You can find a link in my cover photo. You can find a link in my bio. I see people jumping on. Hey guys, let me know in the comments that you're watching, where you're watching from. But I will be doing another branding boot camp in April. So you're going to want to go ahead and jump in to the Facebook community now so that you don't miss that announcement, because I'm working on content and getting the registration page and all of that live this week. So that will be coming out. We'll be doing that end of April. But I'm coming on this morning to talk about the biggest secret to personal branding, because so many people, like I said, have told me, like, you have a strong brand. I'm attracted to you. You speak to my heart. And that is because I thrive on authenticity. You pretty much get what you see. Okay. That's just a strength of mine, and I'm here to help other people do it. So the biggest secret about personal branding is no one cares about you. I know that is going to hurt your feelings. That's okay. I'm not here to coddle you, right? No one cares about you. They don't. We do like celebrating each other. I'm all about celebrating each other's wins. Obviously, I post when I have a win, or I have a success, or one of my teammates have a success. And I adore everyone that comments and shares, but that's not branding. Okay. One post about using your little colors and your fonts is not branding. So let's just dive right into it. Building a personal brand is an incredibly unique opportunity. Many people try to build their personal brands, but the truth is most of them fail. And the reason is because they think becoming Instagram famous is building a strong personal brand, and they're barking up the wrong tree there. You can have 10,000 followers on Instagram. That does not mean you have a strong brand. You might have had a lucky little hit on a viral reel, or you might have worked your ass off to get 10,000 followers. Like, you might have posted every day consistently. You may have, provided some value, but did you build a brand? So that's the difference. Okay. Having a strong presence on one platform does not mean you have a strong brand. And this is why, if you're thinking that becoming that viral TikTok famous or Instagram famous or whatever, personal branding is not about building followers. Personal branding is about developing thought leadership. Okay. Social media is just a place, and it's one of your many, many tools for you to deliver your value to your audience. But contrary to what people think and the popular opinion, building a personal brand is less about being respected and known and more about providing inspiration and value. And I think that has been one of my strong suits personally, is that I am not afraid to share when things are bad or wrong or not picture perfect, or I come on here all the time with no makeup on, and I just don't my hair had some curl left from yesterday, so I left it alone. But I am okay with being who I am. There's nothing beautiful here as far as aesthetically pleasing. That's not a goal of mine. Goal of mine is to connect with people on a real, raw, authentic level, and them know they're not alone. So that is part of my brand. And that's what I want people to know, is providing that value and that inspiration. So it's an art and it's a science. Okay. You cannot shortcut your story. You cannot shortcut your audience. And if you haven't noticed, your single most valuable commodity is the value you provide. So the biggest secret that you have ever needed to know, and the holy audience of yours, is they don't care about you. You got to stop talking about yourself. Your content should be about your how you can help people. Okay. They care about how you make them feel and what you can bring to their lives. What is the problem that you can solve? People don't buy a mattress. They buy better sleep. I don't buy $150 tennis shoes because they're cute. I buy them because they help keep my ankle that I've broken so many times pain-free. Like, I buy the pain point solution, right? I buy the solution. People don't buy things because it's pretty, or because they do buy when they know, like, and trust you. And they know, like, and trust that you can solve their problem. Okay. So they're inherently self-involved. And there's no shame in that game. It's human nature. We're all somewhat self-involved. Okay. So remember, at its core, great branding is actually an act of service. So if you really come into a business planning to serve people, I'm not saying you have to devalue yourself or give everything away for free. Okay. I've had to set those boundaries this year in 2023 very strong. Like, very strong, because my inbox was full of, I'm known to be the social media guru. I help people. That's what I do. But my inbox was full of, like, how do I change my profile picture on Instagram? Like, okay, all right, we can Google that. Like, let me show you how to Google that. Right. So, like, I'm not saying devalue myself or provide so much value that I'm always on, because you do have to have a break. And I'm so excited about April's content on the podcast, because I am talking more about setting boundaries on social media. I think that is something that we all need. I am still working on it. I'm never going to tell you I have the perfect work-life balance, because I think perfect balance is bullshit. Most people don't have that unless they have a team of people behind them balancing it for them, right? But I will tell you that, like, that is so important. So when I tell you that your value needs to be act of service, I'm not telling you that you have to serve 24/7, or that you have to serve on a level to where you have to offer free trainings, or, like, you build your business the way you want to build your business. But know that if at your core, your goal is to help other people, you're going to have more success. So see, you're not as selfish as you thought, right? So when crafting a personal brand, think less about your signature hashtags. So that's like, some of the things people get stuck on is crazy, right? They're like, I don't know what hashtags to use. I couldn't post that post today because I read this thing where you're only supposed to use 5 hashtags instead of 6. And, like, I didn't even get the post up. I'm not kidding. I get these DMs all the time, right? Your Instagram layout. I have just, at this point, I'm all about just being authentic and inspired action. So my Instagram layout is not one you're probably going to want to mimic, and that's okay. The stickers and the Snapchat and the blog titles, like, that's cool, but that's not providing value. So you have a bigger game to play. Okay. You have to have a more holistic mindset. Go deeper. Who are you? What do you have to offer people? What experiences can you share that help other people? Every time I'm raw and real and authentic, and I come out of the gate like, well, I didn't want to post this. My gut said that I'm going to be embarrassed posting this, but I'm going to do it anyway. It always wins. It always wins. And I don't mean wins by gets the most likes and follows and comments. I mean wins by my inbox is full of people saying, I needed to hear that today. Or last time I was super raw and real and authentic about my neck pain, and I posted a picture of me crying. Did I take that picture for social media? No. I took that picture because I very often go back through my feed or my camera roll and look at, like, I'm a vision person. So I look at, like, wow, I've come so far from last year. Right. And I posted it anyway, because I was like, someone needs to know, someone is struggling. Always pays off. My inbox was full of people that were like, thank you. I needed that today. Right. So you really have to think about and unpack what makes you decide. You help define your particular offer, your personal brand, your distinction from your competition, your digital place in the world. Okay. What do you have that's unique that you can contribute to that? So I'm going to give you a few things to digest over your personal brand journey that can maybe help you. And this will kind of prepare you for that boot camp that we're going to do in April, which I'm just so excited about. But
Play the long game, okay? Your personal brand is the single most valuable asset you can build. Single most valuable asset you can build. I always say that you're more likely to build your brand of XYZ marketing company forever, or you probably won't be running from a startup for the next 3 decades, but you will always be you. So if you're building this other brand over and over and over, and then you're like 5 years in, I just don't want to be with that company anymore, you're always going to be you. So build your personal brand for the rest of your life. Build it. Build the equity in you. Invest in you. Don't invest in short-term tactics. Don't invest in get rich quick. Write your narrative, okay? Make it epic. Think about your branding in terms of goals. Where do you want to be in your business a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What do you want people to remember about your brand? What does that space look like? So these are all things that you need to get very, very clear and concrete on. Leave a legacy. Get in touch with why you do what you do, okay? Do people constantly tell you you have a gift? You're so creative. You're so good at this. You're so good at that. People tell you that, right? What is that gift? Have you always been good at that gift? Is there a specialized skill set that goes along with that gift, or that you uniquely have that you could help people with? If you could do one thing passionately and make a living doing it, what would it be? Think about these things, y'all. Like, there's no reason to go through life every single day or go to a job every single day that you hate. There is no reason to do that anymore. There are too many options. And I know you feel trapped. I know you feel like I can't leave. I gotta have health insurance. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. That's cool. Build an exit strategy. Start this on the side. Start something on the side. While we all live in a space of ideas, and we stop talking about what we wanted to do or what we'll have done because we've been diminished by what's happened in the world in the last several years. What legacy can you leave? Okay. And be you. Simply be you. There is no such thing as competition unless you create it. And I'm a competitive person by nature. Okay. So let me clear that up. I'm super competitive, but I also believe in collaboration over competition. So if someone says, hey, this is a contest, you better believe I'm going to win it. Like I'm coming, I'm going to win it. But am I going to compete with someone that I could potentially collaborate with and we could both win? No. No one shares your unique experience or what you've gone through in your life, your perspective of life, your business, your love, everything in between. So stop comparing where someone else is with where you want to be. That's so easy to do. Social media makes it so easy to do. I have found myself spending hours scrolling through one person's feed, and there's not one particular person, there's many. But that specific night, there was one person, and I'm scrolling and I'm like, gosh, she is just killing it. And like, what am I doing over here? And I'm doing pretty damn good, but I'm just like, you get caught up in it. So start with where you are today, with what you've got, and continue to build. Stop quitting on yourself because someone else is winning. Your win and their win are not related, okay? Don't magnify areas of your life that don't speak to you authentically. Don't fake it till you make it. That shit is over, okay? Be you. Be you. Use your experience of failure, your successes, and what you've learned to provide value to other people, because you only really need to know 10% more than someone else to be able to teach them something. You've got something inside of you that you know 10% more of someone else does that you could teach them. You just have to find it. But most of us inherently, by nature, human nature, are too busy comparing ourselves to other people that we feel inferior. And we feel like, I can never get up here and talk about personal branding because, who am I? A year ago, I was in a cubicle. Like, heck no. I can tell you that I have nailed it. And I'm going to keep nailing it. It's going to keep happening. And that's why I have the authority that I've given myself. No one's going to come to you and say like, congratulations, you've got the authority to talk about this on social media. No, this is my audience, my platform that I've built. I have the authority to talk about it. I've built that know, like, and trust factor. Hey, y'all, I see more people jumping on. So this is so important for you to understand, okay? The first step to maintaining your personal brand is getting super clear about who you are before you build your audience. Okay, so some conversations that I've had recently, because if you haven't seen, and if you haven't, I don't know how, but the algorithm works in funny ways. If you haven't seen, I recently got back into network marketing. I was like very unclear the last several months of 2022 and the beginning of 2023 if I was going to leave the industry completely, start over, relaunch. Like I was just disconnected completely, feeling unaligned, didn't know what I was going to do. And I recently got back in, and this is one thing that I'm consistently telling my team is that you got to build your audience. Okay. I don't ever like to think of somebody as a numbers game. I don't want to be thought of as someone's number, but it's a numbers game, right? Where do you get money from? People. Who joins your team? People. Who do you want to help and serve? People. So you got to go find more people. You got to have more conversations. That's just name of the game. When I was in insurance sales, I did insurance for a while. I mean, I was given a list of people to call, 100 people a day. If I had free time, you better believe I had to make a phone call. Like somebody better be calling, hey, this is Alyece from State Farm. Do you like your auto insurance or not? Like it was like, whatever. Like that's what you had to do. You had to go find more people. Okay. So I tell my team all the time, it's all about audience growth and consistency. But if you're starting from the beginning, or even if you're ready to relaunch and restart, focus on your brand and figure out your brand before you build an audience. Because if you go build this massive audience of people that have nothing to do with what you want to do, they're not your avatar, they have no interest in what you're selling or what you're offering, you're going to be disappointed, right? And I'll tell you this from experience. I've had several, reels and TikToks go viral, and they're usually not the ones that you want to go viral, right? They're usually like the ones where you were like 11 p.m. This is funny. I'll post it, right? And so then you build this massive audience of people that have no desire to buy what I'm offering. So numbers are nothing. And I mean, I have a large platform, I have a large audience. I have a very large engaged audience at this point because I'm also focused on organic growth at the same time. But people will still see my follower account and they're like, I don't have 30,000 followers like you. I can't do this. Half of those people don't have any desire to buy what I have. Like they found one reel they thought was funny and they followed me. And I love you for following me. Thank you. I don't want anyone to think that I'm ungrateful. I'm just trying to tell you that follower accounts are not important. What's important is your avatar, your brand, and that you're building an audience of people that are aligned with your brand. Okay. That is key. So focus on your branding beforehand. Okay. But don't get caught up on it to where you never build that audience. That's another pain point that I see a lot of people have in my audience is that they can't nail it down, so they just never start. If you can't nail it down, you can't figure it out, you can't define yourself first and get very clear on your value and the value you bring to the table, you need to hire a coach. You need to get help. You need to get in these free communities that can help you, these free challenges that can help you. Get the value you can. Do the study, do the work, okay? Figure it out first. I'll also tell you too that it's super important that if you are in a pivot point, because that was something that I had to go through at the beginning of last year as well, is I pivoted. I'm in the health and wellness space. I've been in the health and wellness space since after I had Caden, so 2016. And I very much led with the product. And then as I started building Socially Ausome, I was like, you know what? I want to build with the opportunity. I want to build and help other women know that they can leave their 9 to 5. They can be available when their child needs therapy at 1, and the only session of the day is at, 1 p.m. Like they don't have to be chained to a cubicle. They can build and bring income into the household being at home. So I was more aligned with that. Although health and wellness is still super important, I wanted to lead with that. So I built my brand around social media marketing. So I had to pivot because I had a lot of people that were following me for weight loss tips and health and wellness tips. And while I sprinkled that content in, that wasn't my primary content. So then you kind of saw a disconnect between me and my audience. That was a pivot for me. And that takes time. That could take 6 to 9 months to like rebuild a whole audience. So don't compare what you've been doing for a week to what someone's been doing for a year. Okay. But to wrap this up, because we're about to hit the 20-minute mark and I am filming podcasts all day for April, getting ahead of my content. Get ahead of your content. Let me tell you that. If I could give you anything out of today's episode, get ahead of your content, okay? My personal profile is usually, I'll call it sporadic. It's inspired action. So my posts every day for my personal profile are not necessarily planned out. I have a list of things I like to talk about, I want to talk about. I like to kind of keep it inspired. But if you're doing reels or TikToks, which you should be if you're trying to grow your audience, batch those, okay? Because they take a long time to edit and to get content ideas. Don't overcomplicate them, but you should be getting ahead of your content, okay? So if you're not already in my Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs community, make sure you jump in there. We're going to be doing a personal branding bootcamp. It'll be completely free in April. Okay, it's going to be at the end of April. I'll make an announcement post here and sometime this week, probably end of this week. I got to get the landing page and all that, behind the scenes stuff done. But if you have been watching and you're like, you know what, I want to work with you. I want to mentor under you. You've seen that I started a new health and wellness company. I would absolutely love to have that conversation with you if we haven't already. And if you are looking to get a coach or a mentor to build your other streams of income, then I'm here for that too. So my inbox is always open. I would love to chat with you. And until next time, make it simple, make it social, make it awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Alyece Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.